Please stand for the pledge and prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together and do the work for the citizens of this great county that we live in, this great state that we live in, and this great country. We just ask that you would watch over our troops, protect them and be with them. We could find a way to end this war and bring them home safely. That's the goal, and that's what we want. Just be with them, protect them, watch over our sheriff's department. We've got a lot of them here tonight, and they don't usually hear a lot from us, but let's protect them and be with them in the tough job that they have to do each and every day. So be with them and watch over and protect them each and every day. And it's in your Son's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Tonight's kind of a special occasion. We have some new deputies that we're bringing on board. We're going to be swearing in. We're going to do that. First up, Sheriff, I'm going to turn this over to you.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. So yes, we have two deputies starting in Indiana Law Enforcement Academy here in a week, is what we made before. So we have Begley. Nope. we do not have this. How about now? Working? Yep, there you go. Micah, come on down. So it's Micah Thomas and Nick Begley. I'll have them introduce themselves just really quick to you, and then luckily we have Honorable Judge Blake Dahl here to swear them in. So, Micah.
Keep it under half an hour. All right. So do I need to push the button to speak?
No.
Oh, all right, we're good. So, all right, I'm Micah Thomas. So I grew up here in Howard County. So I was born in Kokomo, grew up in Greentown. For most of my life, I've lived in Greentown, other than a short period where I moved to Grant County. But now I'm back in Greentown. As far as that's it.
Cool.
My name's Nick Begley. I'm a Tipton County native. I'm here with my wife, 2 children. We're a Northwestern family. I spent 10 years in the Army and most recently been working at the Howard County Jail as a correctional officer.
Thank you. Go Army.
Go Army. Who wants to take pictures? Family? Who wants to sneak on up? Yep. Sarah, you want to Judge? Do you want to both say?
Welcome, Judge.
One at a time. There you go.
Hey, Judge, welcome.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here with you all, and even a bigger pleasure to swear in these deputies.
Jack, we're glad you're here.
Jack, so go out and
behind the sill.
supporting us. You ready? All right, would you raise your right hand, please? Say aye and state your name and full. Who being first duly sworn upon oath declares, I will support the Constitution of the State of Indiana
I will support the Constitution of the State of Indiana
and the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the United States,
and faithfully and impartially
and faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of my trust
discharge the duties of my trust
as a deputy sheriff
as a deputy sheriff
of Howard County, Indiana,
of Howard County, Indiana,
to the best of my skill and ability.
to the best of my skill and ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
For everybody here, that was a smile from Ned. That's as big as we can get.
We love our Greentown boys, right? All right, you ready? Could you raise your right hand, please? Say aye and state your full name.
I, Michael Shane Thomas,
Who being first duly sworn upon oath, who being first
31st,
duly sworn upon oath,
duly sworn upon oath,
declares,
declares,
I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Indiana,
and the state of Indiana,
and faithfully and impartially
and faithfully and impartially
discharge the duties of my trust
and discharge the duties of my trust
as a deputy sheriff
as a deputy sheriff
of Howard County, Indiana,
of Howard County, Indiana,
to the best of my skill and ability.
to the best of my skill and ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Picture with my kid.
Get out of the way.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Cheese.
Well, thanks for everybody jumping out of the way. Now we can get back to the meeting. How about that?
I'll be up
That's
here
all
for
I,
you, Sheriff.
that's all I had.
I want to say congratulations to the two new deputies. Welcome aboard, we're glad to have you. So be safe out there. So Sheriff, they go to the academy
May the 4th.
May the 4th. So thank you all. We'll give them a chance to go out in the hall and celebrate. Judge, thank you for coming.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I love being here at any time to do this for our deputies.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cleared the room.
Thank you, everybody, for letting us do that. We appreciate that, so. Okay. Next, we have some special announcements, recognitions.
Yes, sir. First employee nominated by the Treasurer's Office. Every time we see this employee, he is hard at work, keeping the entrance of the building clean and free of debris, routinely checking our office to ensure our office temperature is adequate and regulating portable heaters as necessary. He is always pleasant and kind. He is helpful to others to carry out and move heavy items to assist other employees. He pays attention to takes pride in his work. He has a very good work ethic and attitude. We appreciate all he does. Employee of the month for April 2026, Derek Chambers.
I just see him moving down there for a while. Slide on down here and
Get a picture of them.
thank you.
Thank you. I'm extremely flattered and grateful to be recognized. It's very humbling. Thank you again. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, let's just get that here.
Okay. Here. I'll stand up here and read it. Nominated by the EM Director, employee number 2, by Sandy Baldwin. This employee worked quickly and efficiently to help the EMA to move to new offices following water damage at our previous location. The area we moved to was in need of several updates, and this employee was observant and identified issues that needed repaired that we had not yet thought of. Without much of a blink of an eye, this employee had 2 office spaces updated and ready to go. He does not take shortcuts, often stating, "I am doing it, and it is going to be right and nice." This employee is just good to work with, and we are pleased with his work ethic. Employee of the Month for April 2026 is Jeremy Bliss.
Yes, sir.
Good job, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if you guys have been to the EMA lately, but over the last, I'd say, 6 months, the changes he's made in that facility are amazing.
Good job, Jeremy. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, sir. You can take one. Not my game.
Okay. It's always nice to recognize employees for a job well done. So. Okay, next we have approval of previous meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those minutes are approved. That takes us to our departmental business and reports. Do we have any? I don't see any. No? Okay. Which takes us to new business. First up is Barnes and Thornburg, Max Adams. First up is consideration of a resolution approving the formation of a nonprofit building corporation to assist in the issuance of bonds.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, Commissioners, County Auditor, members of the audience. My name is Max Adams with Barnes and Thornburg, serving as bond counsel for the county jail project. We have 2 resolutions for you today. The consideration of a resolution approving the formation of a building corporation, as well as consideration of a resolution approving the form of lease related to the issuance of lease rental revenue bonds. I put a new packet of materials in front of everyone right before the meeting. Apologies to the commissioners, the auditor's office, and everyone in the back office for my late additions and dealing with Rick Hall and I as we sort of sort through some issues. The first resolution approving the formation of the building corporation. Those are documents 5 through 7 in your packet. Apology, I should have renumbered them, but documents 5 through 7. There's a resolution, draft articles of incorporation, a draft code of bylaws for the nonprofit building corporation we'll be using. So, as you're all aware, we're using what's called a lease financing model for the Howard County jail bonds. Is due to the size of the bonds. After you reach a certain threshold based on the size of the issuing entity, you need to sort of pivot to a lease financing model, which is very, very common in school corporations. Use this a lot because they issue a lot of debt because the only thing they have to use is basically property taxes. So very common in the school space. I'd say after that, it's more common in the county space, county issuers. So this first step is to approve the formation of this building corporation to assist the county with issuing these bonds. Resolution itself very, very straightforward, approves the formation of that building corporation and appoints 3 members that we've already been in conversations with the commissioners on who to appoint to that building corporation, and those are set forth in section 3 of the resolution. After approval tonight, Rick Hall and I will work on getting that building corporation approved through the Indiana Secretary of State's office, and hope to do that in the next week and a half. So, if there are any questions on that resolution, be happy to take those.
So I see several here. The first one,
It would be documents 5 through 7 in the packet I gave you guys,
I'm looking,
the last 3. Resolution is the shorter one, and then it's followed by articles of incorporation and code of bylaws.
the one for the corporation.
Yes, there should be articles of incorporation, code of bylaws, and then a
And I
resolution.
see
on
the
top.
bylaws.
Yep. So the resolution approves the formation of the building corporation, approves those draft documents that are filed as part of the incorporation of the building corporation, and then Section 3 appoints the members to that building corporation.
So Alan, I take it you've seen all
I
that?
have. Max has done a wonderful job preparing these for our purposes.
Thank you.
So are we just accepting these?
The form of the lease, accepting the form of the lease. Then the building corporation will be the signatory on the lease.
Yes, and this first resolution is just for approving the incorporation of the building corporation. The next one is approving the form of the lease, which are the longer form documents in your packet.
Okay, so we're formally accepting these.
Yes. The resolution approves the formation of the building corporation. Then the other 2 documents that are attached, number 6 and 7, are the articles of incorporation that gets filed with the Secretary of State and then the bylaws for the corporation. That's what the first resolution he's presented does. Correct, Max?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay,
Madam Auditor, do you have a resolution number?
I do. BCCR 04.
I make a motion to accept resolution BCCR 04.
Second?
we have a motion and a second to accept resolution BCCR 04 to formally accept this resolution. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that resolution is formally accepted.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
The second item I have for you, consideration of a resolution approving a form of lease related to the issuance of lease rental revenue bonds. That would be documents 1 through 4 in your packet, if they haven't already been jumbled up, trying to find the other ones. But it's a longer form resolution. Behind that is you'll see a document with sort of red and blue ink. That's a red line showing the changes from the first version. Behind that is the lease itself, as well as a red line showing the changes made to the initial version of that form of lease. So I mentioned we're using a building corporation to issue these bonds using a lease financing model. The building corporation itself will be issuing the bonds on behalf of the county, and then the way the building corporation receives money to pay on those bonds is through a lease between the county and this building corporation. We'll be leasing the jail itself, which is obviously is a project property, but for reasons that we can get into, for capitalized interest reasons, we're also considering leasing the county courthouse. It seems odd that we'd be leasing sort of a unrelated site, but if you think about it, the reason you can't pay principal on these bonds until you have a occupiable asset under the lease. You can't pay lease rentals under a lease until you can actually occupy the
So
thing.
the
being
courthouse is
leased.
basically collateral for,
Exactly.
project.
And it saves several $1 million over the term of the financing if we had this other site. Some government entities don't have other sites that they can lease in the interim, like Howard County does. So Howard County is very fortunate to have this other asset to sort of use in the interim. It saves the county and taxpayers several $1 million during the first 3 years of these bonds. So the resolution here does several things. Sort of walk through section by section. Section 1, approving the petition filed with the commissioners. For those who've been in past meetings, sort of what kicks us off is a taxpayer petition sort of request that the project's done. The county auditor's office handled this, did a fantastic job, got that filed and stamped several weeks ago, so we had that filed well in advance of this first approval step. Section 1 also sort of approves upcoming steps, acquisition of the premises by the building corporation, payment of costs of the building corporation. It also says that the lease itself and the bonds will be outstanding for 20 years at a maximum annual lease rental, which is also the maximum amount of debt service you'll be paying on the bonds, an amount not to exceed $12 million. Section 2 authorizes the building corporation to go out, issue, and sell the bonds. Section 3 basically says at the end of this period, all of the lease premises, which would be the project site, the jail itself, and then the county courthouse, to the extent that it hasn't already transferred back to the county before then, all of those remit back to the county's ownership at the end of the term of the bonds. Section 4, apply the proceeds received by the county from the sale of all or any portion of the premises to the building corporation. So if you think about it, this building corporation is going to be the actual issuer of the bonds. They're the ones who are going to receive the bond proceeds on the day of closing. Because the county is selling the project site and the county courthouse to the building corporation to lease back to the county will actually receive some amount of money in exchange for the sale of those two properties. Ultimately, all that money, bond proceeds and sale proceeds all go towards the project. So it's all a wash at the end of the day, but it's just another thing to sort of prove the use of those sale proceeds towards the bond, to the bond finance project. Section 6 goes to, excuse me, I skipped one. Section 5 approves the form of the lease itself. That's what the longer form document in there. I can sort of talk about the plan of financing if you'd like me as well, but all that's set forth in the form of lease. Section 6 authorizes the county to appoint appraisers for the project site as well as the county courthouse. The amount that the county will receive on the day of closing in sale proceeds can't be less than the amount that those properties are appraised for. And then finally, Section 7 is sort of a catch-all that we like to include. So happy to get into more of the nitty-gritty of the plan of financing, how this all works. Could talk for hours on these sorts of things, so just kind of want to give at least a brief overview of everything in that resolution. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take those.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
I think I already know the answer, but for the record, leasing another asset is typically done in projects like this.
Yes, we recommend it anytime the issuing entity has sufficient collateral, basically, to use this sort of leased interim asset to offset capitalized interest. Smaller municipalities usually don't have a whole lot of, property that they can use as this sort of secondary site. The county, obviously, in this case, has other sites that it can use, but we recommend it anytime it's possible because it saves a lot of money during the first 3 years of making payments.
Okay. But first, an appraisal has to be done.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Yes. So an appraisal will be done for the project site where the actual jail will be built. There'll be an appraisal for the courthouse itself. We get 2 separate appraisals for each of them from separate appraisers. The building corporation cannot purchase those properties for less than the average of those 2 appraisals. In the end, it sort of, all washes out because the county and the building corporation put all those proceeds towards the project itself while we're issuing the bonds. But it's sort of, statutorily, that's how it sort of works out, is that the county will receive all those proceeds and then we'll dedicate them towards the project fund.
So we are fortunate to be in a position to leverage assets to save the taxpayer.
Yes, I mean, if you think about.
According to you, a lot of money.
I mean, I mentioned that the maximum annual lease rental is $12 million. I'm not sure what the final bond amount will be, but you can think about how much interest you pay on when you're paying $12 million in principal each year. How much interest accrues on those, even for tax exempt rates. It's million, 2 million, just guesstimating. If we didn't have this separate asset to lease during the construction period, we would have to include those first 3 years of interest payments in the bond amount. So we'd have to borrow that amount and then use some of the bond proceeds to pay interest during those first couple of years. By leasing this secondary asset, we can make bond payments just based off of, the taxes that will be levied for this, in the amount that we otherwise would have had to include in the loan amount.
Thank you for that.
And
explanation.
I want to be clear that we're not looking at bond payments at $12 million a year. That's
No,
worst case, that would be
yes.
a way worst case scenario. We're looking
Yes.
at considerably less than that.
Yes.
That's a not to exceed.
Yes. There are, in these documents and documents in the future, those are all going to be not to exceed amounts. Those are all maximum amounts. If you can imagine, we're trying to leave ourselves room in these documents for bonds that we'll be selling in late
Sure.
July, August. So we're trying to make sure that we don't have to go through all this whole process again at the end of the summer.
Okay. Gentlemen?
I'm assuming this is BCCR 05?
You're correct.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number BCCR-05. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have passed resolution number BCCR-05.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Matt.
Official ones need signed. Yes.
Thank you, Max. Good job. Okay, that takes us into our claims and reports. Salary claims.
$1,159,022.63.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those are approved. Payroll expense.
$1,159,022.63.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved. Operating claims.
$931,893.57.
Move to approve.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those are approved.
Sorry.
Do we have claims to ratify?
None.
Monthly reports.
We have the treasurer's monthly report, month ending 2/28/2026, and we have weights and measures monthly report from February 16th, 2026 to March 15th, 2026.
We will mark both of those as received. Do we have any grants?
None.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Wilson,
The first thing I have is another resolution. Is this number 6, Jessica?
Yes.
This is a resolution that authorizes demolition of the building at 4648 West, 250 South in West Middleton. We've had much discussion about this building. We've had public hearings in which the owner and his attorney have appeared. Our enforcement director, Mr. Sheeline, of course, Enforcement Authority, has determined that an emergency exists, which requires demolition of this building. And by this resolution, You are authorizing the enforcement director to take action, including demolition of the building, foregoing the bidding procedures because an emergency exists, and ratifying his actions.
We have a history with this building. We've worked on this building. We've tried to get cooperation with this building. And now it's moved to the emergency unsafe building. So it's unfortunate, but we as county need to take action.
Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Wilson. I've had numerous calls. I've had calls from the school. I've had calls from surrounding residents. And this has been an ongoing issue for safety reasons. And just recently, with all the wind and rain, parts of the roof has been landing in the road. There's concerns with children that go by there. So I really appreciate your efforts to get this through. Thank you. And I'll make the motion for resolution BCCR-6.
Second.
So I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 2026 BCCR. All in favor?
Aye.
This resolution is approved.
The second thing I have is the contract for animal control and shelter services with the Humane Society. We negotiated this a while back, we just haven't executed it. The Humane Society folks have done that, and we just need signatures by the board members.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson, for bringing this forward. Any questions? Do I hear a motion to approve the Kokomo Humane Society contract for animal control and shelter services?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That contract is approved.
And lastly, we have an appointment to the Taylor Regional Sewer District of Drive-In Browning for your approval.
Were we going to table this?
We weren't tabled it tonight.
I don't know.
No?
Pam asked me to present that.
Okay.
Are we
Pam?
tabling that, Pam?
Pam's shaking her head no, so,
The board president asked it done so that there's a full board.
okay,
I think they want,
all right.
I think they want to do a little
Any
more,
questions?
I think they want to do a little more research. So they were trying to talk to this gentleman and he didn't return calls. They want to talk to him before they appoint him to the board. That's what I was told. Yeah, that's what I was told.
I'd make a motion that we table it.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion to table this appointment. All in favor?
Aye.
We're going to table this.
That's all I have today.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
Oh,
Mr. Bray?
no, sir.
Mr. Lipinski?
Nothing.
Okay. All right. Public comment? No?
Got nothing?
Nope.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Lisa Washington. I live at 3156 Woodfield Drive, and I had an opportunity to go to the state of the county and hear about the jail. And I was wondering what the rollout was going to be for the rest of the community, because a lot of people did not have the time to go to an 11:30 meeting, so I don't know how that's going to be rolled out to the rest of the community. If perhaps you could enlighten us. Thank you.
That's a great question, Lisa. We are, that's the only kind of questions you have, is great questions.
Questions I ask. Ask my husband. And my kids.
We are looking at maybe doing a kind of a town hall type meeting and just open it up for presentation like that, and then allow for questions if people want to come to it. And, I thought that went well. I appreciate everybody's participation in that. I think Commissioner Lipinski did a great question, kind of orchestrating the questions and answers.
But you don't have anything scheduled as of yet?
Not yet, no. We do have a contractors' night scheduled for May 21st.
The 21st in the afternoon.
Inviting contractors in to learn how to take part as local contractors. So that's kind of where we're at. So, but thank you for asking that.
Thank you. Better get up closer, Corbin.
I'm Cheryl Vanola. I live at 1127 South Webster Street here in Kokomo. Just a couple of questions. Mr. Wilson, you mentioned that building that we're going to be tearing down, and I just didn't get the address.
4648, west 250, south,
Okay,
West Middleton.
West Middleton. And then, Mr. Lipinski, you had mentioned that they were, that the max of 12 million would be the max, right, on the jail. Do you all have any idea of how much we will be
I would say
paying, or
less than 9
what we
million.
think it is?
Less than 9 million.
Okay, thank
We
you.
won't know that until we get all the estimates in and they do the bids and
But
So-
somewhere around 9 million or less.
Okay, thank you.
the illustrious Corbin King.
He's going to make it this time. I am. Thank you. Good to see you all today. I talked to Councilman Lipinski, thought that I might be able to come and shed some light on Devon Woods. It's my understanding that you all are going to be helpful in this situation. And please correct me if I'm wrong on the revolving loan.
We don't know yet.
Right.
We are looking into
Right.
that.
Okay. So that's why I think Jeff wanted me to come. It's just so happened that unfortunately I represented the estate of Mr. McIver, who owned 2 utilities, Devon Woods being one of them. Fortunately, the Grant County utility I did get sold, but certainly I want you to know that I'm available at any time to help out with this, because I think it's really important. My decedent did this as a hobby, never charged anybody any money. There was no, thus he left his widow with no money to pay for the utilities, for the upkeep. Certainly, she married him for better or worse, but I don't think she married him for 2 utilities that he was not getting paid on. So, and the other thing is, of course, I've been here forever. I've got clients that live in Devon Woods. I mean, I want it to go well for them, the whole community, for the county, for my client. So just wanted to thank you for entertaining this, because it's a problem that isn't going to go away. It's just going to get worse. And if you need anything from me, you know where to find me, but I certainly appreciate what you've done, because I think it's needed and it's going to help a lot of people. Jeff and I, on the New London project in the newspaper, got way too much credit for our helping out with the Conservancy District, but going through that process really lets you know, hey, the county stepped up, helped Rocheville helped New London. That's why I like Howard County. We always seem to be helping one another. And yeah, is this self-serving so I can help my client? Yeah, but from the heart, I think you know me. I want to do what's best for all these people. So thank you. Any questions for me?
Corbin, I would say just moving forward, we plan on utilizing your knowledge on the Devon Woods sewer system, and you're going to be a big asset to us in that regard. We're kind of in the infinite stages here, and working with the council and seeing what they want to do and with Greg Legg's office, stormwater and such. So we're in the infinite stages, but there's obviously some issues there that's going to have to be dealt with, and we're trying to deal with them the best that we can.
I do. I appreciate that. So yes, anything you need from me, I did talk to Greg. He told me. So that makes me feel good. I know that the wheels are churning, and those are always more complicated than you think to get through that. So anything you need from me, again, I am there to help out, and I appreciate that very much. Thanks.
Thanks, Corbin. Any other public comment? Okay,
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
we stand in adjournment. Thank you all.